how lovely she actually was. Now, as she walked into the house, the pictures of her ancestors looked down at her with what she hoped was approval. The Runford men had all been very handsome, and the women exceptionally beautiful. Even allowing for a degree of artistic license, they were all breathtaking. Orlina thought that she should now go upstairs and change from her riding habit into a gown, but because the sun was shining so brightly, she felt that it was somehow a waste of time, when she would much prefer to go out into the garden. Tea was already being laid in the drawing-room, and she knew that the old butler, who had been with them since she was a child, would, when the tea was ready, fetch her father from his study. Sir Nicholas, she knew, would, as usual, resent being interrupted, but he felt that it was his duty to eat his meals with her, even if he saw very little of her at other times. "Did you enjoy your ride, Miss Orlina?" the butler inquired. "Of course I did, Newman," Orlina answered. "I just wish sometimes I had someone to ride with me." Newman sighed before he said, "Sir Nicholas's legs would not allow him to ride, as you well knows, Miss Orlina. But even if he could mount a horse again, I thinks he's happier with his books." "I think so too," Orlina replied. "So then I must not grumble." She went towards the tea-table, and Newman went to summon her father. Sir Nicholas did not come down for over 5 minutes, and Orlina knew that he would be finishing off the paragraph he was writing when he was disturbed. However, he appeared at last, looking exceedingly handsome. His hair was going white at the temples, but it made him seem even more attractive than he was already. "Did you have a nice ride, my dear?" he asked. "It was so lovely out in the sunshine, Papa," Orlina replied. "I wished you were with me." "I wish I could ride again," Sir Nicholas said, "but in the meantime I have found something that is extremely interesting, and I want to show it to you after dinner." "What can it be?" Orlina asked. "It's a piece of Danish folklore that I did not know myself, and I am sure that it will surprise you." "Of course it will, Papa. It will be exciting to think that you have found something new." She thought of how often she had said this to him, because he was immersed in everything that had happened hundreds of years ago. It was as exciting to him as if it had happened yesterday. She wished sometimes that she could feel the same thrill herself. She knew that her father was ecstatic when he discovered something that the Danes had done when they invaded the north of Scotland, or learned of a statue the Romans had erected when they first came to England. She and her father talked a little as they had tea, yet there was very little to discuss. "Now, I must get back to work," Sir Nicholas said, putting down his cup. "I expect you have plenty to occupy yourself with until dinner-time?" "Yes, of course, Papa," Orlina replied obediently. Her father hurried from the room. She then heard him rushing down the passage with the same enthusiasm that a boy might have who was going skating on the ice for the first time. She gave a little sigh, and wondered how she could occupy herself until dinner-time. Then, to her surprise, she heard wheels outside the front door, and wondered who could be calling so late in the afternoon. Then she heard Newman coming over the hall, and someone with a high-pitched voice speaking to him. Orlina wondered who it could possibly be when the door opened, and Newman announced, "Lady Sarah Lonslow, miss." Orlina gave a cry of amazement, as coming through the door was the most elegant and well-dressed figure. Her hat was trimmed with ostrich feathers, and she wore, although she had obviously been travelling, a most elegant gown that was the very height of fashion. "Sarah, what a lovely surprise!" she exclaimed, and ran towards her. Lady Sarah kissed her and said, "I thought you would be surprised to see me. I have driven here, and it has been a long journey because, well, I need your help." "My help?" Orlina repeated in disbelief. Then, as Lady Sarah moved further into the room, she said, "Will you have some tea? You must be thirsty after such a long journey." "Oh, I would love some. Lady Sarah replied.